Alright, now, where was I? Just kidding. So, basically, this pretty much, the fact that this recording even exists and the fact that I'm still working on this thing pretty much shows my dedication to the process. So, the reason a lot of these recordings haven't been going up very quickly is that my entire laptop basically decided to fry itself. So, I've been without my laptop for basically the last couple of weeks. I've been very busy with other obligations as well, but I really wanted to get back to this, and so as a result of my hard drive basically destroying itself, I lost my save and my progress. So basically, I had to play the game again. So I've now this Let's Play has survived losing 2 hours of footage, a hard drive destroying itself, and I basically had to play the game through 3 times just to make this possible. This is the 3rd playthrough, but I love this game so much, I'm dedicated to this process. Let's get back to it. Now, I am at the exact same point I was at before. Obviously, some of my saves aren't going to say the same thing. My time's a little better because I didn't have to listen to all of the narration and stuff like that. I didn't have to worry about recording, and this is pretty much exactly where we were. We just finished up all the spells, we just turned Mananan into a feline, and now we're ready to continue. And so, once you get all the spells done, we have a ship.
A large ship is tied to the dock. There's a procedure.
So this is obviously our way out of this little island. Or looks like an island. It might be a large country. It goes on forever, for all we know.
The seaman guarding the ship eyes you shiftily. You politely speak to the sailor on the dock. He growls at you in response.
Quit your yabbering, boy. I ain't got no time for you. I gotta keep trespassers away from this here jolly boat. Scram!
Aren't the jolly boats the little paddle boats? I don't know.
Insistently, you speak to the guard again. He seems displeased as he snarls at you.
I'm warning you, boy. I got a tricky sword hand. Better go away before I can't stop myself.
Let's just be safe.
That's it. I warned you to quit hanging around.
Ooh, nasty.
The seaman draws his sharp cutlass and runs you clean through. You drop to the dock, dead.
Dead.
The seaman was just doing his job.
Killing me is not in his job description, narrator. But, obviously, we can't talk to him too much. He's quite a cantankerous fellow. Why don't we go and see if we can find the captain?
The sailors peer at you through bleary eyes and continue swilling their rum. One, who looks like the captain, pauses and drunkenly speaks to you.
Aye, me bucko. Be ye wanting passage on me ship? What you running from? Oh, it's no matter, as long as you got gold. Let me see how much you got.
As you bring out the purse, the captain snatches it from your hand.
Aye, lad, I sees you do have a wee bit of gold. It's less than me regular fare, but I'll give you passage anyways. We'll be waiting for you at the wharf, but not for long.
The captain and his men down their rum in one long draught, then leave the tavern.
I'm almost tempted to run around and just see if they'll leave without me. I don't know if that's possible. But I think we'll just continue. Now, I think I mentioned this earlier, in the old game, the ship appears after a certain amount of time, regardless of what happened. Regardless of, your progress made as far as the spells and as far as against the wizard. But in this game, it only appears once you've gotten all the spells, because in the previous version of the game, the ship appears after a certain amount of time, and after a certain amount of time, it's gone, and it never comes back. This game's a little bit more forgiving around those lines. Those old Sierra games, they weren't messing around. They really, you know, they made it tough. You had to save a lot, and you had to be ready to go back and do it all over again, as I've become very familiar in doing with this Let's Play. But let's continue. Enough of my blathering.
Hey, the captain said you'd be coming along. Get on board.
They're pirates. They're obviously
Nothing
pirates.
Like a little bit of salt air to perk up a boy's spirits. You feel excited about the upcoming journey.
They're not going to treat you well.
Ahoy there, me lad. Allow me to introduce myself. My name's Captain Blodlet. I'll be your host for this here voyage, or what you'll be remembering of it. Pretty flag, ain't it?
You're pirates?
Afraid so. We'll be showing you to your quarters now.
You couldn't figure out they were pirates from the skull and crossbones on his hat?
Island.
Come on.
Aye, Captain.
You couldn't tell from the ridiculous accent? Oy. So, as was easy to predict, we are now a prisoner. Again, what's interesting about this section is that it's this from here on to the to a point pretty much near the final act of the game is significantly different than the original version. Some of the puzzles are different. The approach that you have to take to it is different. It's very different. And in the first version of the game, like I said, it was possible to get on the ship whether or not you took care of Mandanin. But if you didn't, this was as far as you got, because he's a wizard. I mean, he's able to know and get to pretty much where you are. So he just all of a sudden appears here and, again, as is his wont, zaps you out of existence. So, take a look around.
You are in the dank cargo hold of the pirate ship. With caution, you look around the dim surroundings. Mostly, you see stacks of wooden crates. Looking upward, you notice a rope ladder dangling partway through an opening in the hold ceiling. The ladder is directly over the largest crate. The ladder hangs directly over the largest crate. This small box looks manageable.
I like manageable boxes. Just a box. Freedom! Oh, shoot. Just for fun.
What are you doing here? Stay put until we get ashore.
If you mess with the captain more than once...
What are you doing here? Stay put until we get ashore.
Alright, I guess he won't kill me. I thought if I walked in there a couple of times, he'd do away with me.
A device for turning the ship's rudder is set into the floor. The captain dutifully makes an entry in his log. You could, if you knew where you were. This is where the lifeboats are stored. Doorways open at either end of the compartment.
Not a whole lot to do in this area. And really, there's not a whole lot you can
We're
do once you're on
leaving
the
the
ship.
island, Captain. Orders?
As soon as we drop anchor, we'll head for shore. The treasure's assuredly still there, waiting for me, us.
Do you think the map is accurate?
No reason to think otherwise. The last captain of the ship insisted the map was genuine. 'Twas the last thing he said before I ran him through.
What about our new passenger? You think he's up to the task?
Are ye questioning me judgment?
No, Captain. It's just that we can't be knowing if we can trust him.
You be thinking he'll make a run for it? Fat chance of that. It's a dangerous journey to the center of the island. Even if he made it that far, there's an impassable cliff face on the other side with a sheer drop to the ocean below. And if by some slim chance he managed to climb down, it's a mighty long swim to nearest land. And then there's the sharks.
I guess he doesn't have much of a choice. Do you think there'll be traps on the island, Captain?
Well, of course there be traps, you empty-headed sea urchin. The treasure was buried in the days when those wizard characters used to run things. 1,000 years ago, so it be told. The pirate captain to whom the treasure belonged was something of a magician himself. Who knows what deadly devices were conjured up? Well, don't just stand there. Go get him.
Aye, Captain.
A few hours later.
Take this parchment. It's got a lot of silly scribbling on it, but it gives you the best route through that jungle. Now get in there and find that treasure.
And try not to get killed.
Aye, it's a lot of trouble finding someone who won't be missed, and who's foolish enough to set foot on my ship. Quit your prattling, get in there and find me that treasure.
Ahem.
I mean, find us that treasure, of course.
So this here is a completely new section that the designers of AGD Interactive have added to the game as a means of changing things up a little bit for those who haven't already, for those who have already played the game, adding their own little stylistic touches, basically. There are new puzzles. This whole area is new. This was not in the original game in the least.
Spread across the island is a variety of unspoilt flora.
Did not know that unspoilt was a word.
Until recently, you thought you knew what depth meant. You see an old marble pillar near the chasm. A weight has appeared. It hovers in the air above the bridge.
This looks like a puzzle to me.
As far as you can tell, this is an ordinary bridge. If you excuse the pivot in the middle, the latches on the ends, and its propensity to tilt completely either way.
Warning, do not step on this bridge. But let's do it anyway, just for fun.
It's time to take your weight problem seriously.